Let's bring in for immediate reaction Ohio GOP Congressman Jim Jordan. He's a member of the House Judiciary Committee and the House Oversight and Government Reform Committee. Congressman, thanks for being with us this morning. You've heard the news. What's your reaction?
With you. Yep. Well, President Trump was right. Remember back in 2017, when President Trump said they were spying on me in the press and all the Democrats said, no, they weren't. And then in 2019, then Attorney General Bill Barr said spying took place at the FBI on President Trump's campaign. And everyone said, no, no, no. Well, now we know for sure. Now we know 100%. John Durham's revelation, John Durham's filing here. Yep, there was spying going on, and it was worse than we thought because they were spying on the sitting president of the United States, and it goes right to the Clinton campaign. So God bless John Durham and his investigation. It's taken a long time, but we're getting to now what we all suspected. The only thing we didn't understand was it was worse than we thought.
Congressman, just as a quick follow-up here, I think everyone, as they watch this, wonders, where will this go? Where will accountability lead us? Who will be held accountable? I got a note a little bit earlier in the show, and I want to run this by you. I don't know if this is directly within your knowledge, but that within federal crimes, there's a 5-year statute of limitations. We're talking about stuff now from 2016, 17. Are we already looking at something that has expired in terms of accountability, at least within the justice system?
Look, I don't know. Only John Durham knows that. I do know that some of these filings that he's done on Zussman and Danchenko were running up close to that 5-year statute of limitations. And we do know this. John Durham is going right back to the start. Understand, the indictment against Zussman wasn't about Zussman lying to John Durham and his investigative team. It was about the original lies, the lies that took place in 2016 when they started this whole concerted effort to go after a presidential campaign. That is what is so frightening here. You had the government working with the Clinton campaign to go after the Republican Party's nominee for president to spy on that campaign. We've never seen anything like this in history. So President Trump's statement yesterday, I think, is right on target. This is truly unprecedented, truly something that has never happened in the history of our great country. And then when you couple it with the context, the broader context of a few years ago, it was the Democrats using the IRS to target conservatives. Then it was this issue 5 years ago with them going after President Trump's campaign. And now we know just 4 months ago, the Department of Justice has set up this threat tag label, and they are putting that threat tag, that label, on moms and dads showing up at school board meetings. So when you view it in context, it's even more frightening.
Sure is. Congressman, you mentioned the way the media has characterized this. Of course, from the beginning, they denied, not just denied it, but pursued the official narrative of those peddling this to the FBI and to the media. We just want to remind our viewers with a bit of a flashback. Here's how the media and Democrats characterized the Durham probe. Watch this.
The biggest scandal was when they spied on my campaign. They spied on my campaign.
There's no real evidence of that.
Of course there is.
No.
It's all over the place. Leslie,
Sir,
they spied on my campaign and they got caught.
Donald Trump and William Barr promised that Durham would expose huge corruption, but he hasn't done that.
Is apparently an ongoing, concerted Republican and pro-Trump project to try to turn the investigation of the Russia scandal into some kind of scandal itself.
Oh, no. OK, wait till the Durham report comes out. And then nothing happens, and they just move on to the next conspiracy theory. It is never going to end. And guess what? People who want to believe that BS are going to believe it.
So, Congressman, yet again, we go to that word misinformation. So it was conspiracy theories and misinformation until it's proven not to be.
Yeah. Well, the conspiracy theory and the misinformation came from Adam Schiff, the Democrats, and the mainstream press. Remember what Schiff said? There is more than circumstantial evidence that President Trump worked with the Russians. That was false, completely false. The media reported it. It's proven to be false. But I tell you what, there is certainly now more than circumstantial evidence that the Democrats and the FBI and the Clinton campaign spied on President Trump's campaign. So, yeah, the country sees it. It seems like everything they call us for on misinformation and, quote, conspiracy theory actually turns out to be true. And they're the ones peddling the false narratives all the time.
Yeah, I mean, I have to tell you, Congressman, first of all, I was really surprised to hear that these indictments came out, that this investigation was still going. I kind of thought maybe it would not. I mean, that's how much of a loss.
So did Don Lemon.
Yeah, John Lemon thought the same thing. But I mean, I think all of us wonder, you know, who's going to be held accountable? I mean, you saw those 3 guys, but how far up do you think this can go? Because The American people need to regain their trust in government. This is like third world stuff. This as you said, it's like Watergate, but this is weaponizing government and our intelligence agencies and working with big tech. I mean, this is really big stuff.
Yeah, no, and again, I think it's important to view all this in context. You think about what the Democrats have done. The Democrats, just this year, the Democrats have closed the Capitol, allowed proxy voting, kicked Republicans off committee, won't let Republicans, for the first time in American history, serve on a select committee. They're trying to end the Electoral College, trying to end the filibuster, trying to pack the court, trying to let non-citizens vote. The January 6th committee has altered evidence and lied to the American people about it. And now we find out, oh, by the way, the Democrat campaign committee of Hillary Clinton was spying on the sitting president of the United States. You view it all in context. Let's hope people are held accountable. I know when former director of national intelligence John Ratcliffe was director, he made sure that certain documents were made available to Durham about the top people in the intelligence division under President Obama. So we'll see where Brennan or McCabe or Comey or any of these guys, we'll see what happens. I don't know. Only John Durham knows. And obviously, he is being persistent. He is being methodical about this entire investigation. We'll see where it all shakes out.
You do get the sense, Congressman, it's going somewhere. The way that Durham is conducting this in the quiet. And by the way, this revelation wasn't one that he put out there, right? It was in a small filing over a conflict of interest.
In a filing, yep.
So it seems like this could be headed somewhere. This investigation does have an end point.
Well,
Are Democrats nervous right now? Are the people who are, involved in this conspiracy, do you believe that they are nervous at this point, that they're worried that they might be held accountable?
I mean, again, I don't know. What I do suspect is how did Jim Baker, the top lawyer at the FBI, the chief counsel at the FBI, when Zussman is handing him this information on Alpha Bank and all this supposed coordination between Trump and these folks in Russia, how did Jim Baker not know Zussman was with Perkins Coie and Zussman was how did he not know that he wasn't representing the Clinton campaign? I think he had to know that. So, I mean, I don't know for sure, but it seems to me that makes sense to me. So we'll, again, see where this investigation goes.
Maybe he would want plausible deniability. Real quick, inside this filing, it names tech executive number one, tech company number one. In your experience, do we eventually learn who those people are?
I assume so, but again, I think Mr. Durham is going to move through this in a methodical way, as evidenced by the fact that now, been 3 years. But again, the American people deserve the truth. We want to know that what exactly happened, and we want to make sure that this kind of stuff never happens again, and that the government quits weaponizing the things they have to go after American citizens.
It's true.
Wow. Thank you, Congressman. Really
Congressman
appreciate your
Thank
insight.
you for your time.
Hold on,
Thank
real
you.
quick. Total change of gears. You're from Ohio. Who do you like today in the big game?
You bet. Well, who do you think? Joe Burrow and the Bengals, for goodness sake. Of course we like that.
He was going to say L.A. That's what he was going to do.
Thank you, sir.
He would not have won the next election had he said that.
Thanks, Congressman.
Thank you.
Got it.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.